Growing up, whole home audio was for the wealthy. Speakers in the ceiling, all leading to a receiver somewhere in the house. And over time, this has changed and become a lot more accessible in various different forms. Being a smart home channel, I'm largely talking about the voice assistant speakers like HomePods and HomePod minis. For $99 each, you could stick one of these in every room of your house and boom, whole home audio. But I bought one HomePod mini and asked Siri to turn the lights on in the dining room like a month ago, and I'm still waiting. I want whole home audio. I want Airplay. I listen to a lot of music all day. I care deeply about good sound quality. I've got big speakers, I've got bookshelf speakers, but I can't put a streamer and a set of speakers in my kitchen or in my bathrooms. And something like Sonos is still pretty pricey. And I don't need a dozen voice assistant speakers throughout my house. So my whole home sound experience does have a few gaps. So today, we are filling in those gaps with the Dio Node 3-pack.
I'm Patrick Hunt, and I want you to like smart home tech as much as I do. Real solutions with Matter, Apple Home, and a little creativity. Weekly, I'll show you how small upgrades can make a big difference. Welcome.
I don't think I need whole home audio in that traditional sense. I essentially have entertainment zones, which have the right speakers for the right purpose. Our living room has those bookshelf speakers connected to the Airplay, and this system is largely used for get-togethers or parties as it's centered in the house. And then our family room has the Apple TV connected to a Bose soundbar. And this isn't often used for music, but it could be. But it's essentially that same setup, streamer plus external speaker. The basement has our home theater system, and this receiver supports both Airplay and Spotify Connect. And then the bedroom has a HomePod mini. So you can see how each system matches the room well, or the entertainment zone. But we are left with gaps. And these are less of the entertainment sound gaps and more of the functional sound gaps, the multitasking situations, and less of the friends are over and we all want to listen to music. I want to listen to music while we're cooking in the kitchen, or while we're folding clothes, or during bath time with Connor. But Patrick, just buy a ton of HomePod minis, turn off the Siri feature, and you've got a budget-friendly speaker with great audio and Airplay. I know. And if a new one is announced soon, I'm probably gonna get it. For such a small speaker, it does sound good, but I've never really liked the form factor. I hate the touch interface. Connor loves it. And guess what? There is an alternative. I reached out to Dio and asked to try out their Airplay speaker. They sent me the Dio Node 3-pack to try out and give my honest review. The Dio Node is small. It fits exactly where I need it in the kitchen, in the laundry room, and in the bathroom. I like the design, and I really like the 3 physical buttons on top for volume up, down, and play or pause. It requires nothing more than a power cable, which I know, I've never been good at cable management. And it's always available via Siri, HomeKit automations, or selecting it from the long list of Airplay devices in Spotify. And it is just a speaker, no voice assistant attached. It supports Airplay 2, which allows me to select every speaker in my house, including these, and blast synchronized music top to bottom. Setup is extremely easy. Go to your Wi-Fi settings and choose the speaker. Once it's found, name it, and you're done. Absolutely no app required, and that's a huge win. I first started using the Dio Node in the kitchen while making breakfast, and it satisfied my need for music in that room well. It does suffer periodically from interference with the microwave, but that's to be expected from devices on that 2.4 gigahertz frequency. Next, I set up a speaker in our little laundry closet, and this one's easy. It's a small room, low volume level, placed right in front of me. It's a perfect use case for this size speaker. I used to just put my phone on the shelf to play music or blast music from the living room, but I didn't really love the phone solution, and my family didn't love the blasting music solution. And then there was bath time, where again, I would just place my phone on the sink to listen to music, but similarly, this isn't a big room, so the Dio Node is a great replacement here as well. So let's talk about sound quality, because that's kind of the whole point. I do have to subject you to some music that I recorded back when I was a young man to try to avoid any copyright strikes, but it is a cover, so whatever, that might happen anyway. Here is music playing from the Dio Node in our kitchen.
To find my way back and to anchor my soul, safe in the sound.
Here's music playing in the laundry room.
Got badges to earn, so keep sifting my soul, cause I think that I'm starting to learn.
And music playing in the bathroom.
And I know you.
I genuinely think these speakers are great for these 3 rooms in my house. But what about the bedroom? That is where I have the HomePod Mini. Could this speaker replace my HomePod Mini? A little bit about sound for you to consider here. Your bedroom is where your music goes to die, acoustically speaking. Your bedroom has all the right stuff to kill sound waves before they can really travel too far, like curtains or furniture, your headboard, on the walls. It's just like all the stuff that you may have seen on the walls of a recording studio. It's to absorb the sound and avoid reverb while recording. So the sound won't be affected too much by the environment. Actually, if you want to record any sound at home, the best place for you to go is the closet of your bedroom. All of this matters because in a bigger bedroom, you might find yourself turning the volume up quite a bit. And as is the case with all small speakers, including the HomePod Mini, the louder the volume, the sound quality tends to degrade a little bit. And it wasn't until I put these 2 speakers side by side that I really noticed that. And I think that says a lot for the HomePod Mini and the Dio Node. Because had I not conducted a side-by-side test, I probably would have said that both these speakers do exactly what I expect them to do in their respective environments. The Dio Node sounds good in my kitchen, in my laundry room, and in my bathroom, and the HomePod Mini sounds good in my bedroom. Because on the absolute opposite end of the spectrum, a bathroom or a moderately sized kitchen both have the perfect recipe to actually carry sound. Hard, flat surfaces where the sound doesn't hit a dead end and might even bounce a little bit. This allows you to keep the volume down and have an acceptable listening volume for the room. So I did do a side-by-side with the HomePod Mini in the bedroom. And I can feel the Dio team cringing right now, and not just because we're gonna listen to me sing again, but because the Dio Node does not have the same low end that the HomePod Mini does. So at higher volumes, it is going to sound like it's struggling a little bit. But this was by design, because when small speakers have a lot of bass and you listen to a lot of podcasts, for example, the voices in spoken word content can often get muddied in that heavy bass.
Oh, you know me. Oh, and I know you. And I know that we can see this through.
The Dio Node will not be replacing my HomePod Mini in the bedroom. But my HomePod Mini in here is used just as much for that entertainment sound as it is that functional multitasking sound. And my thesis statement here is that the Dio Node shines in environments where you aren't cranking the volume, where you need a speaker with a small footprint, always be accessible on the Wi-Fi network, and like those physical buttons for local control. It's competitive in price, with each speaker priced at $80 in a 3-pack. That's $20 less than a HomePod Mini. Overall, the Dio Node is not replacing any speakers in my house, but it's doing a fantastic job filling in those gaps where I couldn't have Airplay music before. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.